That's what I wanted Shifu to ask. I wanted to ask Shifu that. Shifu, what happened? So at that time, I had no Shifu. I had nobody. I wasn't involved with Buddhism. And I wasn't even in the Navy. I was after the Navy. I was working for an oceanographic ship, a scientific oceanographic ship. Anyway, doesn't matter. But I just had this experience, and of all thinking just stopped, and it didn't stop very long. It's not like it just stopped for an hour. It just stopped for a second. It was just it just all stopped. All false thinking just stopped, and it was like an extreme release, like a very. So I had experienced that, and I was on a watch. I was a sailor, so we used to have to watch out for other ships at sea. So we had these, it's called a watch, where you watch for 4 hours. You look out over the ocean, make sure you're not going to hit another ship. And we had these 4-hour watches. So when I got off the 4-hour watch, I went to sleep, but I didn't go to sleep. I still had some kind of, I still had this wonderful feeling after that experience, and it was still with me. Although my thinking was back, it wasn't nearly as strong, and I was able to go to sleep, but not sleep. I don't know how to explain it. I could sleep part of my brain that needed it, but the other part was still awake. So I was able to leave my body and go all over the ship, just with the thought of, oh, what's it like? I'll go to the front. No, now I'll go to the back. Oh, I'll go down in the engine room. Oh, I'll go up on the bridge. You can go anywhere I wanted. And it felt very natural. I didn't feel unusual. It felt, this is totally natural. And I felt very light and easy. This went on for 2 or 3 days. I had these kind of experiences. And then it all closed back up. And so I wanted to find a good knowing advisor. I needed to find somebody to help me figure out what happened. And that's why I went and looked for Shifu in the first place. I had to go find a Shifu. I didn't know about Shifu, our Shifu. I didn't know about Venerable Master until almost a year later. But anyway, a few months later. But at that time, when I had all this experience, I didn't know anybody. So it wasn't until many years later, after I met the Master and finally left home, and I still haven't, all those years, I never actually got around to being able to ask the Master what happened that night. And I finally got a chance to ask him, because we had to fly back from, of all places, here. This is where we went, it was 1980, 81, something like that. We visited Malaysia, and then we're flying back to San Francisco. And I was sitting next to Shifu, and Shifu. So at that time, I asked Shifu, well, Shifu, you know, a time when I was in the ocean before I met Shifu, that year before I met Shifu, I had this experience at sea. And Shifu says, yeah, I know about that. He says, it was a little experience. He goes like that. I said, oh my gosh. If that was a little experience, I said, well, what would the Masters be like? So basically, when you all studied the Avatamsaka Sutra, that's the sutra that describes the state of a bodhisattva. So if you can penetrate the meaning of that, then you're on the way to becoming a Buddha, that's for sure.
在这个时候，你修道的人呢，就会有一种感觉。感觉什么呢？感觉啊，好像喝醉酒似的，又好像睡觉似的，又好像做梦似的，究竟也不知道是真是假，是虚是实。这个四肢啊，非常的软。手也没有力量，脚也没有力量， 就像个泥滩似的，什么也不愿意做。那么可是在你一坐的时候，或者不打坐的时候，心里常常跳。这个跳不是心跳。